Hello and welcome. Today I want to talk about the costs of studying and living at Oxford. How much does it actually cost to study at Oxford? First thing first, if you are a student at Oxford, you are required to live within 25 miles of the city centre, which basically means that you are required to stay in Oxford during the term time. You can technically live a bit further away from the city, but it has to be within 20 miles. That is a legal requirement. So, since you're required to live in Oxford, you need to know that it is an expensive city and the rents are generally higher than many other cities. But we'll come back to that. Firstly, the cost of studying at Oxford. As a UK based student, your fee would be anywhere between £8,700 to £9,250. As an international student, your fee can be anywhere between £27,400 to £37,000 per year, and that is a lot. As an international student doing a DPhil at Oxford, my fee is £27,420 per year. And thankfully, that is funded, but that is a lot. And this is just the cost of studying. The living cost at Oxford is also quite on the high end, and you are required to have at least £15,000 to live in Oxford comfortably. So, in total, you are required to have £27,500 for your study fee and £15,000 per year for your living and management costs. So in total, it becomes up to £42,000 per year, which is a lot. So ideally, you should seek funding because otherwise, as an international student, it will prove extremely expensive. Unless you are rich or you want to fund it yourself, then absolutely you can do it. But if you cannot, the idea of managing somehow or on partial fundings is never a good idea. I know that a lot of people say it might be okay to do it on a part-time job, but that's not possible. You are allowed to do 20 hours of work in the UK on a student visa, and that is just not enough to pay for your fee. It is a lot, £42,000 per year. Because if we break down the living cost, you cannot do anything about the study cost. That is a fixed cost that has to be paid for a degree every year. But your living cost, how can you manage that or bring that down? That is extremely difficult in Oxford because it has high range of rents. As per Oxford's own averages and the averages found on the Oxford University website, the minimum rent per month is £655, which is way higher than in many other cities. I know, for example, that people from Manchester and other cities up north sometimes say that they can find a decent room for up till £400, sometimes even £350, but that is entirely different in Oxford. You don't find anything for £400 here. The minimum you can go is about £480, but then you have to sacrifice on having a very small room and not your own bathroom, in a big shared house. While you might be happy to sacrifice to save on money, but the thing is that such rooms are rarely available and they are rare to find in Oxford. Most of the rooms here are either ensuite or college accommodations, university accommodations, which are on the higher end of rent, and minimum you can go up till £550. Even if you are living in a shared house, then that costs you slightly less in terms of rent, but then that doesn't include the utility bills, the bills for water, electricity, Wi-Fi, and when you pay all that, it again comes up to more than £600. So I choose to live in college accommodation, which is about above £600 per month, but then it covers my electricity, Wi-Fi, and water costs, so I don't have to pay that separately. Because in either case, if you choose a lower end accommodation, you still have to pay for these, and that again brings the amount above 600. If you are really frugal and find something really nice, even then, it is extremely rare to manage in less than £500 in Oxford. That is just not possible. And then your food costs, your management, and everything that you want to do on a daily basis, your travel, if you take a bicycle, that would cut down the cost of buses. But with if you choose to use the buses and have an Oxford bus key card, every day-to-day activity, food, groceries, it can cost you about 200 to 400 pounds depending on how much you want to spend on it. The lower end is 200 pounds. I don't think it can go below that. If you are extremely frugal and on a strict diet, maybe you can then go down to 150 pounds, but never below that. So all in all, it is recommended that you should have at least 1100 pounds per month to survive in Oxford, which again makes up till £15,000 per year. So, having said all that, it is quite expensive to study here, and it is quite expensive to manage your living here. If you get a partial funding, or if you can manage partially, and then you think of having a part-time job, that is not very easy to find part-time jobs. You might find jobs in cafes, restaurants, and everything. But the thing is, especially if you're doing a research project, then it becomes really difficult to manage time between your research and the jobs that you might be seeking. And 20 hours would not pay a lot. Your minimum wage as a graduate student or an undergrad student would be somewhere around £7 to £10 per hour. So, all, in total, the maximum you can get in a month is about £700. If you work really, really hard and sacrifice on a lot of things, such as your sleep and sanity, then maybe you can get 800 to £1,000 through part-time jobs, because you're not allowed to do anything that is self-employment or freelancing, so you cannot earn in that way. Hence, that idea just goes down the drain. You need to have ample to survive. You can, of course, work hard and manage your living if you are thinking about that, but my advice would be to try and get funding, because otherwise it's really, really expensive. So that is all from my side for today. I hope you find this useful. If you have any further questions, please comment down below and I would be happy to answer those. And I'll see you in the next video.